Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren Cohen, your host of Investing Across Borders, where we teach you how to invest, live, work, and play across borders. I'm an international legal and real estate investment expert, and I'm here with my partner, Craig Peleg, to talk about the state of real estate in the state of Florida specifically, although we'll talk a little bit about the state of real estate all over the US and how come it's now is such a great time to invest in real estate down south, south of the border for sure, across borders and all around the world for that matter. So again, I'm here with Craig Peleg. He actually is in the Orlando area. So this worked out really well because we wanted to present some amazing opportunities in Orlando where everybody wants to be, right? Because after all, there's sunshine and Disney. What could be better? And there's also Harry Potter and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the primary things that everybody knows about are sunshine, Disney, oranges, and well, there's a lot of rain these days too. Anyway, Craig, why don't you say hi, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. Craig Peleg here with eXp Realty. Thanks for having me, Lauren. A little bit about myself. I've been in the real estate business for 18 years. Prior broker owner of my own brokerage, Peleg Properties in Boca Raton. I live right near Lauren in Delray Beach. Family's been in the business for about 50 years, and I've been specializing in new construction and investment properties throughout my entire career. So a little bit about me.
Thank you. So Craig, it's a crazy market, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, I can't get the house I want. We just went through 50 offers for one of our Canadian transplants down here, but we got him a good house. He's very, very happy and kids are happy. Why is now a good time in spite of that crazy height of the market?
Well, Lauren, there's a lot of great reasons to still invest in Florida real estate. First of all, here in Orlando, there's a tremendous draw. I'm actually visiting here this week just to take a look at some new projects. Obviously, being in close proximity to so many theme parks, there are projects literally popping up all over Central Florida. I just actually met with some of our commercial colleagues who are telling me that Blackstone, the largest hedge fund on Wall Street, is pouring billions of dollars in investment money into Central Florida, into commercial real estate, because they realize that this market is thriving. Every one of the sales centers that I'm going to here, for regular homeowners that are looking to move here and investors, things are booming and bustling. Interest rates are still at an all-time low.
Even for foreign nationals, just saying.
That's right. Even for foreign nationals, and the affordability of Florida compared to many parts of the nation, and the fact that we don't have any state income tax draws a lot of people to the state of Florida.
Absolutely. It's a big draw. It's why we're here. It's why so many people, not just from across borders, but from the Northeast and a lot of other places, especially these days, now that you can work virtually, you could work for, a Wall Street company and be down here in South Florida. We just brought somebody down who works for the Canadian government. I mean, who would have thought before the pandemic that these things would be available? So you can truly invest, live, work, and play anywhere in the world. It's amazing because we came up with that tagline on the Marketers Cruise, which is going out this Sunday, and we're not going to be on it this year because of various things, specifically COVID. But when we were on that cruise, a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, one of my colleagues came up with that tagline, and I just had a call with her the other day. Who knew how relevant it would be at the time? Because the world has truly become an oyster. So when I'm talking to foreigners, they're always asking about what options are available when you're seeking to invest. Like, what are the best options, would you say, for somebody? First of all, there's obviously, we're looking for a second home, a vacation home, an investment property, and investment properties. In other words, multifamily and commercial. Tell me a little bit about what you see in the market right now.
So, a lot of our investors from overseas right now are really looking for a place that they have flexibility to use when they're coming to vacation, first and foremost. And when they're not using the property, they don't want to have to manage the property, take care of the property, worry about the maintenance on the home, and would love to have rental income. So obviously Airbnbs have become extremely popular in the marketplace all over the world, specifically here in Orlando, due to the fact that we have so much draw internationally to this location. There's a lot of interest in different projects. So there are some amazing condominium hotels that are popping up, which we're going to talk about a little bit today. And then there are also projects that are new construction where we can hire one of several property managers to manage the property on behalf of the owners. They can utilize it when they're in town, and when they are not utilizing it, that management company is going to handle the move-ins and move-outs of the tenants that are coming in for a few days or a few weeks. And some of the opportunities yield tremendous amounts of cash flow. So it's very appealing to our foreign national investors, and even for local investors here in the state of Florida.
Correct. Well, it's interesting because there was obviously a little bit of a blip in terms of tourism during COVID at the beginning, when Disney and Universal were closed and everybody was on lockdown, but now they're open and very, very safe. I was just speaking with a friend of mine the other day who was there over the weekend, and she felt very, very safe. And, there was only one time when one of her kids was a little worried. My kid would probably be worried the whole time because that's how he is these days. But it's a great place to be, and it does allow you to escape a lot of the rules down here in Florida. Maybe too many, whatever. But the fact is that everybody wants an opportunity. Now, what Craig was talking about with these condo hotels or with some of the Airbnb allows you to have a passive investment, allows you to buy a second home, for example, and perhaps rent it when you're not there, which is great. It could actually offset any mortgage that you might have just for the few months that you would rent it, especially if you rent it for part of the season. And the season is pretty much from now until April, give or take, that season in Florida. In Orlando, it's a little different because it's always season, because there's always demand, not like in South Florida. But the reality is that there are huge opportunities, projects going up. Like I've never, with Craig being there right now, I think we found 10 new projects or newer projects that weren't there 2 months ago when I was last in Orlando. So they're popping up. People are buying up the land and finding opportunities because there's always going to be demand despite the blip. As you guys know that are in Toronto, there's a few little blips in the real estate market, but it always comes surging back. And that's what happens in Orlando too. And it's extraordinarily busy, like driving 10 minutes takes 45 minutes. So it's just a crazy, crazy place to be. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about a little bit is that there are paths to immigrate through real estate investment, not through this passive model, but through a more active model. And it's also super important that when you are developing your investment strategy, whether it be for a single home for you to utilize as a vacation home, or if it's to develop an investment portfolio, the structure that you set up, the entities that you set up are very, very important. Speaking to a cross-border tax advisor, international tax advisor, cannot be underscored enough. Like I am not a tax advisor. People ask me every single day, I guarantee, what happens with my taxes? What happens with this? Should I invest cash? Why should I do it? I don't answer those questions. What I do is bring you to my tax expert or tax experts, depending on where you're from. And it's really important because when you're buying real estate, you want to make sure that you set up the right structure. So you're not giving all of your cash flow back to the IRS or the Canada Revenue Agency or the UK Revenue Agency or wherever that might be. We talked about property management. So you can hire a property management company, or you can develop a property management company, or potentially buy a franchise, a property management franchise. Now, Craig, you want to tell us a little bit about what you know about the property management industry? Because I know you've done a lot of business with a lot of active property managers over time.
We'll talk a little bit with regards to how it works here in Central Florida, because we're going to be talking a lot about these different projects. So depending on the project, if it's a condo hotel, it's typically run by management company. We're going to talk a little bit about a project by Embassy Suites, which is run by Hilton. So Hilton,
Right.
obviously, biggest name,
Pretty good name.
pretty big name in the hotel industry. So they'll be managing that asset on your behalf. But some of these other projects, like Story Lake, another project that you know we're going to outline in a future episode, you could choose from 2 or 3 different management companies, and depending on their services, they can range. Lauren, you remember what they
It's
quoted?
from
I think
10,
between
it's
like,
generally from about 10 to 20% that they charge
yeah,
for the
right.
rentals. And it
Yeah.
really just depends. And some centers, some communities have only certain mandated property managers. So you must use one of those. It's not very common. That's in the more expensive, more luxurious, I guess, or luxury homes that are a little higher end. But when you're dealing with the condos, unless they're, you know, a condo hotel where they offer lease back, which is great. I did a lot of EB5 with lease back when they would buy the property connected to the EB5. And it's great because it means you're always going to have money coming in. So there's just great options. Craig, why don't you share the first project with us?
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for a second, and let's see if I can just jump on here. Lauren, do you see my screen now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. So the first project that I just mentioned, we talked about Hilton Hotels, is a project that just recently launched. Their studio 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units starting. Actually, they broke ground. Ironically, as I was here in Orlando, I came to the sales center and 50 agents came off a big bus from a groundbreaking ceremony. The property is located less than 10 minutes from Walt Disney World, not far from I-4, and it's right off 192. It's located directly next to the Margaritaville Resort in Orlando, which is a stunning resort. Lauren and I stayed there with her son Zevi, and we were playing Miss Pac-Man for a week straight at that resort. So it's a beautiful location. They're actually running a promotion for those international investors that want to come and take a look at the property and the location. They can actually get up to a $2,500 credit to stay at the Margarita Resort at one of the local cottages there, and take a look at the location. So the beautiful thing about this particular property is that it is, you know, a 20 or so minute drive from Orlando International Airport. So easy to fly in and get to the property. You're less than 10 minutes from Disney World. You're one exit off I-4 to Disney itself. And then it's managed by Hilton. So it's very similar to if you stayed at an Embassy Suites facility. You can see here what the pool area is going to look like. I'm going to just scroll over some of these items here so you can see.
Now, the only thing I don't see in there, which they do have at some of the other some of the other resorts, is a water park. I mean, they have a little kids water park, but not really a water park or a lazy river, right? I just want to make that clear.
Actually, that's correct that there's not a water park on the facility itself,
right.
But directly adjacent to Margaritaville and this location is the H2O water park. I'm going to show you, and Sunset Walk. I'll show that to you in a moment. But these are what the floor plans pretty much look like. They just had a price increase, or they're about to do a price increase. They're going to be starting their studio units at $244,900. They were priced at $230 4 months ago. So you can see the real advantage of this property, and from what I've seen from the Margaritaville properties escalating in price. One of my dear friends sells a lot of sales in that community, and the prices have just gone flying high over the last 2 or 3 years since they started the Margaritaville resort. But these are what the units look like, just so you can get an idea. So they're studio, 1-bedroom and 2 bedrooms, and we'll be glad to send anybody who has interest, floor plans and brochures for them to take a look at. But they pretty much they were starting into 230s. They're now into the 240s for the studios. The 1-bedrooms are starting right around the 300 mark, and the 2-bedrooms start in the 4s. And so, Lauren, you had alluded to not having a water park. So I'm going to show you one of the great things about being in this area. I'll just let this video play here. Is that this particular property is located next to the Margaritaville Resort, and it's also located next to Sunset Walk. So there are over 15 different restaurants. You see them there. Bento. We went to the local. I forgot what it was called.
Mexican.
No, it was like a rock and roll restaurant. And they'll show it in a minute, but they have ongoing events at the location where they're having concerts. There's this H2O water park, which is an awesome water park for the kids. So I think they give you like a discounted annual pass so that you can use the water park location. You have 15 restaurants, like in Savannah. When we were in Savannah, they have the sweet shop there. So, ice cream parlors, everything you could possibly ask for. It's Sugar, BurgerFi, Rock and Brews. That's where we had gone. And there's a movie theater on premise there in Sunset Walk, and Five Below, and a ton of different shops, dollar store. Everything you really need is within walking distance of this resort. So you really don't have to leave the resort. You can just go to lunch and dinner if you wanted, right there in Sunset Walk. And it's very, very, very convenient. Now, the cash flow on this property is probably going to yield 5 to 6% return on investment. So not like through the roof ROI, but where this is a great investment property, in my opinion, is future appreciation on the property. I've seen it from other projects nearby. Directly across the street, Lauren, I mentioned to you, they are building 300 additional condominiums right across the way from this property. And there's going to be a mixed use with retail space. So everything you would possibly want is along the 192 corridor, only 5 minutes, 10 minutes from Disney World.
Cool. Yeah, I love the fact that it's connected to a really recognized brand, Embassy Suites, which is all over North America, maybe for that matter, the world. Certainly Hilton is all over the world. And the location is ideal. I've stayed at the Margaritaville before. It's definitely a great location, very well suited for visiting Disney and having a little bit of a break as well, because visiting Disney is definitely not a vacation. Not for parents, maybe for kids, but definitely not for parents. I remember before I had my son, whose 11th birthday is today, I remember thinking, I can't wait until I have a kid and I can come to Disney and really see it through his eyes. And then everything changed. You had a kid, you go to Disney, and suddenly it's not so glamorous anymore, because all you're doing is schlepping around, looking after your kid, hoping to avoid a meltdown, especially when they're young, and getting really hot. But at the same time, there's so much to see and do there. And there's a lot of fun to be had. And certainly if you're not living 2 hours away, it's definitely a big attraction. So thanks for sharing that one. Craig, why don't you share our second project for today?
Okay, awesome. So another project that is on the market right now that may be of interest to some of our viewers is at the Grove. The Grove has, I don't know, probably about 6 or 7, maybe more, 10 buildings that are located also right off 192 and I-4. I would say it's, again, about 4 or 5 miles from Disney. So you're only, about a 10-minute drive into Disney World. Lauren, you and I and Zevi, who's having his birthday, happy birthday, Zevi, we stayed with my daughters as well at the Grove. I've been there 2 or 3 times and brought my family there. They have studio apartments, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units, and in the Grove they're actually 3-bedroom units. The newest building is the Terraces, and just to give you an idea of what this property looks like, I'm just going to scroll through here. Now these units come furnished, they're beautifully furnished. We stayed in a 3-bedroom unit.
Were the Embassy Suites units also furnished?
The units are also furnished there, yes. So these units start off in the low 200s for the studio units. and then they have 1-bedroom units, and they also have 2-bedroom units. And there are options for lock offs where you could use some of the space and you could rent out the other space, just like the Hilton project. They have an extremely reputable management company managing their properties for you. And some people will use it strictly for investment. This particular project does have leaseback options where they'll actually lease the property. It's a 10% return. It's really a net return of about 8% on your money. Now you still have the option, I think about 2 or 3 weeks out of the year, you can in off-season timeframes, you can use the location for your own personal use. For the rest of the time, they're leasing it out, and you're getting about an 8% net return. The property rents very, very well because of its proximity to Disney and Universal Studios is about 20-25 minutes away. Airport's about half an hour away. Some amazing amenities at this property. So it has a gorgeous water park there, 695-foot lazy river. Lauren and I were being very lazy in the river together, right? You have multiple water slides on the property. There's a restaurant at the main pool. I think there's 3 pools on the property. The water park's at the main pool, which you can sort of see in this aerial view right here. There are about 3 restaurants and also like a quick grab cafe where you can get coffee and ice cream and different snacks in the evening. But it's an absolute
no
stunning,
shortage of food.
No shortage of food. Yes, needs
or drink for that matter, because you definitely need a drink. And
yeah,
there's a massage, which I definitely need right now.
Right. So, there are fitness centers on site, beautiful 20-acre Lake Austin there. And there's paddle boats with like swan boats, just a lot to do, fire pits and hammocks all over the property. And you're 5 minutes from Disney, which is absolutely awesome, right? So if you're coming to vacation in the Orlando area, a fantastic location for all of our folks. And I'll just show the gallery of some of the photos so you can see what the rest of the property looks like. But this is the main entrance. When you get into the hotel, there's covered garage parking for all of the guests. Show some of the other photos. You can see this is when you enter the building, that's what it looks like. And the front of the building for the terraces. These are some of the pools on premises. This is the smaller pool at the terraces. Anyway, so you get the gist of what the property looks like.
Cool. All right, cool. So I'm going to take over sharing my screen now and show you a resale opportunity in Orlando. Just a moment. Here we go. Can we see that on the screen now from Zillow?
I don't see it yet.
You don't see it. Okay, so we're going to start.
To like stop my share. I think I have to stop my share.
Share.
Now try, Lauren.
Ah, that's why. Okay, perfect.
Oh,
so this.
By the way, just one thing. Also at the Grove, one of the things the kids loved was the flow rider, right? Sevi and the kids, they were literally surfing for hours.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and our pocketbooks too. Look at that. I've become American. I'm saying pocketbook. Who would have ever thought? Oh my goodness. All right. No, please.
Your knapsack.
Knapsack. That's right. With my knapsack and my ensuite and my carburetor with my eaves trough. Okay. So I just wanted to share one resale with you guys because I have a lot of people. I apologize. I don't know how that happened. I have a lot of people that have expressed interest in resales and in the themed homes, especially at Reunion Encore. Now, Reunion and Reunion Encore have an amazing water park. It's great. There's this slide that I did not go on that goes literally right, like straight down. I didn't go on that, but I went on the other one. And my son was definitely having a great time. So this is just an example of how this is a very moderately themed resale. But as you can see, they themed the bedrooms. So this is an 8-bed, 7-bath home, which could rent for well over $1,000 a night, maybe more, especially during season. I mean, think about it. You could have a couple of families staying there. You could have your extended family. It's a great way to see Disney and have a vacation at the same time. So you have a Lion King theme. This is Harry Potter. Then you have a Mickey theme. You have a pool table. There's often game rooms in these resales. And of course, you can build out the resale as well. And then there's also the water park at the facility, which I could probably show you if I go for further pictures. But the point is that there are great opportunities to buy resales. I mean, where do you get, if you're in Toronto, you don't get a 1-bed, 1-bath home for $810,000. Never mind an 8-bed, 7-bath home, and certainly not in Boca Raton. But this is a nice home with a beautiful backyard with a pool. There are some that are so amazingly built out with wonderful lighting. It's just like a resort in your own home. And the Airbnb opportunities here are just incredible. So I just wanted to share that opportunity with you. Again, there's amenities on site. There's a restaurant, there's a club, it's connected to golf course, you name it, the amenities are there. So the point of today was really to just introduce you to some of the opportunities. We're going to be doing a regular show to talk about projects, resales, opportunities, new projects, and the state of real estate in Florida. But the reality is that now is the perfect time to invest in real estate and to develop your business opportunities here, to build your credit, to build your relationships with financing options, which, by the way, we do have available. I have an amazing financing partner that specifically finances foreign investors investing into the US. It's called Lendi. And we have additional financing partners if you're doing specific types of investment. Over 4 units, they don't fund. By the way, we do have access to lots of multifamily. We will definitely be doing a presentation about some multifamily opportunities, duplexes, triplexes, 4plexes, 8plexes, 30plexes. I have one client looking at an 85 unit opportunity, not in Florida. But anyway, the point is, I wanted to thank Craig for taking some time today to speak with you. And we are here. We will share our contact information with you and you'll have a chance to follow up and set up a call with us. Also, if you want to go to my website about new construction and look at the new construction opportunities, not all of which are in there, but many of which are, you can go to showingnew.com. That's showingnew.com/Lauren Cohen. And feel free to reach out to us, Investing Across Borders. Our website is realestateacrossborders.com. And I am Lauren Cohen, your host, and very proud to be here and your cross-border investment attorney expert. And I thank you again for joining us today on the 4th of November. May the 4th be with you, right? Isn't that what they say? Perfect timing, actually, considering that Disney owns Star Wars. So there you go.
Awesome.
Thanks, Craig.
Guys. Take care.
Bye.